Hey guys, welcome to the Money Zone. I'm your host, Folasade, the accountability accountant. Guys, you see did y'all hear the smooth groove music that my team ended up changing for the intro to the radio show, guys? This is my first time hearing it. So it was like, wow, like a real smooth, like adult groove. But yeah, on another note, guys, I wanted to come on and shift today's Money Zone topic. So we were supposed to be talking about how you guys can utilize AI for your businesses, right? That's what we were supposed to be talking about. But due to the newly information from Instagram, from someone that works in the bank, and from my experience with dealing with the PPP and being on the forefront of trying to prevent you guys from committing the fraud and taking you guys throughout the journey of the whole PPP process, I thought it would be more beneficial for me to come on and talk about the PPP updates you love the new music, the PPP updates that we have found. Okay, so if you guys are watching me on Instagram, I'm sorry you guys cannot see my screen. I tried to simulcast to Instagram like I did yesterday, guys, but I didn't have any success, and I didn't want to drop the live stream again and try it. So I have to figure out what's the full process. So if you guys want to see my screen, because I will be showing you quite a bit of information today. If you guys want to see my screen, head over to our YouTube channel, which is Folasade TV. Is my name, Folasade TV on YouTube, and you will see me live right now. And also, if you guys want to confirm that I've been talking about this PPP stuff for the past, since it started, almost 4 years now, head to my YouTube channel as well, and scroll back. You'll see the content that I was putting out, or better yet, you can probably see it under the reels on Instagram as well. Just go back all the way to 2020 up until now. You will see that I've been talking about the PPP, the loan process, the fraud, and everything that everybody have been committing. And I've been diligently trying to help you guys avoid getting into any mess. So if you guys are ready to deep dive and you want to see my screen, please head over to our YouTube channel, because like I said, I tried to simulcast on Instagram, but I could not today. And I know you guys are like, dang, Folasade, this is the day. You should have been streaming. I tried, you guys. Okay. So Trans say, yes, way to pivot the topic. This is a hot topic. Teach the people. She also said, oh yes, over 4 years, definitely. Stacy say, love the braids. Thank you, Stacy. Okay, so we about to rock this thing going on. So first, guys, let me give you guys some context as to why we're having this topic today, right? So I'm going to show you the Instagram post where this is coming from. Okay, just give me 1 second. Let me go to my profile. And then I'm going to share my screen. Okay, all right. So let me share my screen now, guys. We're going to rock this out. Okay. All right. So we first giving context so we can put some meaning behind today's topic.
Specifically a credit union. But that being, I don't know who needs to hear this, but y'all remember those PPP loans that everybody was doing during the pandemic? Baby, I'm working in a bank now, specifically a credit union. But that being beside the point, y'all, they are sending subpoenas every other day, if not more than that, to review the people who were claiming that they had employees. So y'all remember when Biden had said he was going to hire 25,000 agents so that they can go over all of that stuff? It's happening. And I don't know if y'all have been paying attention to a lot of the entrepreneurs. Baby, they're coming for a lot of people, regardless of if you paid that money back or not. So, I can't really say, get your houses in order, because it ain't really even about order. It's literally about you lying on, papers for government funds. Y'all, a lot of people going to start facing jail time. And I think more often than not, people are going to start throwing the people who filed the PPP loans under the bus, because they're the ones who, technically, those are the ones who committed the fraud. but you committed the fraud because it's in your name too, and you're in trouble for all of the money, and you gave them a percentage. That don't even make sense. Get it together, y'all. I don't know who needs to hear this, but y'all remember those PPP loans that everybody was doing during the PPP.
Okay, guys. So that was posted on Grindface. Kudos to Grindface for posting the video up with the lady. And here's the gist, guys. I fully believe what she's saying. Some of you guys don't know that I've been following this since the inception of the PPP process. The moment that they came out with the program, I came online diligently informing you guys not to falsify your tax returns, not to fall bait from all of these people that were promoting the programs. And what had happened was we were getting quite a bit of traction, but I also ended up getting shadow banned from trying to stop you guys from committing that fraud. So now we have this lady saying that she works in the credit union. Okay, and she said that they're now receiving subpoenas. For all of you that don't believe that, let me go and show you when the banks started receiving subpoenas. So my first screen share, my second screen share of tonight will be a document, well, an article from Thomas from Reuters. Hold on, wrong one. Okay, yep, no, that was it. Okay, it says from Thomas Reuters, guys. If you don't know, they're really prominent. Try to give accurate information when they're putting stuff out there, right? And so this Thomas Reuters article says, exclusive: U.S. Justice Department subpoenas Wall Street banks for small business loan information. Look at the date, guys. This was May 15th, 2020. They've been subpoenaing them since 2020. It's just that it's over 5,000 plus banks and organizations and different businesses that were issuing out these loans. It's not just the basic Bank of America that you guys are thinking. It's not just the credit unions, the Navy Federal and the Truist. It's not just those big banks that you guys know of. Think about the little banks that you never see. Think about all of these online e-commerce sites like Cabbage and all of them sites. It was so many, Blue Vine. It was so many companies that were offering the PPP. And so respectively, we have to, give the Department of Justice some grace, because they're not going just after the banks. They're going after the individuals. And so what's happening is it's not just the banks. That's 5,355 banks, right? It's also the individuals, which is millions of people that applied. Okay, then you got the preparers. Then you got the people that promoted the program. So the Department of Justice got so many different initiatives happening right now. And the main course of action was to really crack down. This is, a lot of people say, and I'm going to show you guys some of the comments, and I'm going to answer some of the comments and respond to some of the comments from my Instagram post. But some people were saying throughout the process of me informing people about this, that, this was a setup. Guys, it wasn't a setup. When I first came online telling you guys about this program, it was based off the honor system. The honor system means if I sit this pen outside and I say, I need $20 for this pen. When you go to grab this pen off my porch, you need to put the $20 there and take your pen. That's the honor system. We're going to trust what you give us. So basically, everybody is saying, because the government trusted us to complete the applications properly, that they set us up. That's not a setup, guys. That means we took advantage. Let's really be honest, okay? Let's really, really, truly, we have to be honest right now, because see, our dishonesty has gotten so many people in trouble that it is scary, guys. Like, this is my biggest fear is children losing their moms and dads for $20,000 and $30,000 for PPP loan for multiple years because they have to go to jail. or your credit is messed up, or you're not able to get your refunds for many years. I don't even know how in depth they're going to take this program, guys. Truthfully, I don't know if they're going to penalize you guys with jail time. I think depending on the amount, it might be jail time. I don't know if they're going to allow you to get your refunds and get certain credits. This is an open door situation where they can basically do and implement any type of ramifications from this situation. Okay, so let's go ahead on and look into this article really quick from 2020, because I want to take you guys on this journey. Okay, so let me go back to the article. It says the U.S. Justice Department has sent grand jury subpoenas to big banks seeking records as part of a broader investigation into potential abuse of a $660 billion emergency loan program to help small businesses hurt by the novel coronavirus. Two people with knowledge of the matter told Reuters the previously unreported subpoenas issued by the department's Washington Fraud Division do not necessarily indicate wrongdoing on part of the banks, but will compound growing worries among lenders that they risk being swept up in a federal crackdown on the PPP fraud. The program allows small business, we know what it allows. Policymakers worry that the huge pot of cash has been a magnet for fraudsters, which it has been. Okay. It says the Justice Department opened a probe into the program last month and has already brought criminal charges against borrowers it alleges lied about the state of their businesses and numbers of employees. So when they say state of their businesses, that mean like your revenue. They mean like how many, what was your total net income? What was your profit? What was your top line revenue? That's what they mean. State of means. Okay. All right. It says, due to their critical role in processing the loans, banks have reams of information that could point to other fraud. Grand jury subpoenas allow prosecutors to get their hands on a range of private financial and personal records and to hear witness testimony as part of a criminal investigation. Recipients are not necessarily the subject of a probe and can be cooperating witnesses. So right now, during this article there in 2020, they're saying, well, you guys wasn't the subject. However, I knew you guys were the subject. I know you guys are the subject. So if you guys were to head over to my YouTube channel, like I said, and go back, you will see that I tracked I knew what their agenda was. They wanted to get the data across the board because the bank connects the dots between your businesses and the loans. The banks are the middleman. So what? You got to go for the middleman. You got to go for the middleman. It says a third person with direct knowledge. Here we go, the middleman. A third person with direct knowledge of industry interactions with the Justice Department said the agency wanted to scan bank records for possible wrongdoings. So guys, let me stop sharing really quick. If you guys are watching this and you're enjoying this content, please share the video because a lot of people have been duped and still think that this thing is a game, still think that they're not responsible, or still think that that money should have been, was free money. So please share this video, guys, with your friend, your family, and Instagram. If you want to see my screen, head over to my YouTube channel, which is Folasade TV. I was supposed to stop sharing the screen, guys. Look, I'm trying to get used to this thing. Okay. It says the first two sources said major banks have received the subpoenas but did not provide names. Industry data shows JP Morgan, Chase, Citigroup, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo were among the biggest banks to participate in the program. Okay, so that's in 2020, all right? So now, after 2020, remember they had another round. So remember, you guys were supposed to submit your information for the second round, and they ended up changing the specifications to qualify for the second round. And during that second round, I also came on, and let me see if I can even, give me a second, guys. I was trying to pull up some of my videos, guys, but we got so much content. A lot of you don't know I've been creating content since 2014. Okay, so I have years and thousands of videos. Let me see what I can find, like my oldest PPP videos. I have thousands of videos. Date modified. Let me see. Why I just can't do like latest date? Okay, hold on. Relevancy. First added. Okay. Okay, so no, this is old. Anyway, okay. Okay, so let me just show y'all behind the scenes really quick. I don't want to show you guys each and every one of the videos. Head over to my YouTube channel because all of the videos are on my YouTube channel. But let me give you some context. This is me. This is me. This is my PPP. I mean, this is my storage where I house all of my content, all of my videos that I've done. So as you can see here, I searched PPP. It's 63 videos starting from April 7th, 2020, April 14th, April 17th, April 22, April 29th, May. All of this is 2020, all the way up. Okay, still PPP, PPP. We're all the way in December 2020. We're now in January 2021. Still talking about the PPP, still talking about the PPP. These are hours and hours worth of content, you guys. So if you want to see these, head over to my YouTube channel. So then now we're in October 2021, still talking about the PPP. I connected the dots between the banks, the IRS, the Department of Justice, every gave you guys the type of fraud that you will commit by doing it, which is tax fraud, wire fraud, bank fraud, all sorts of conspiracies. It's just serious. So this is now 2022, still talking about the PPP, 2022. And when I do my content, guys, I share my screen and everything. And I give you guys the laws and the documents from those agencies. I don't just come up with and copy no news article. I normally actually beat the news article before they even come out. Okay, so when you guys hear content from me, most of the time it may not even have been public information yet because the news haven't broken down. So we're all the way in August 2023 that I've been talking about this PPP. My last PPP video my team put here was October 2023. So I wanted to show you guys that, just to let you guys know, it was people like myself that was out here diligently trying to prevent you guys from getting into stuff. Chandra said, I have added some, okay, links in the comment. Okay, thank you. Wow. Wow, right after the March 13th. Yeah, so my daughter's birthday is March 14th. And I actually have more content than that. I need to figure out what happened because my team sometimes cannot keep up with a lot of the content, but they're doing their best. So if you guys want to really see the content, head over to my Facebook, and I know everything is on the Facebook. All of the content is on the Facebook. Okay, so let me get back into the PPP journey. And if you guys have any questions at all, post them there. What about the new tax laws? I talked about the new tax laws in yesterday's video. I did a 2024 tax updates. And if you want anything in particular, put it in the Q&A and I'll do a live stream on that, okay? Okay, so let me find my other article, guys. Give me a second. Okay, so now what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead on and stop sharing the Vimeo. Now we're going to go and look at the Government Accountability Office. They did a audit. So if you guys don't know, the Government Accountability Office audits the Internal Revenue Service, the Treasury, and different entities tied to the government, okay? And they really track the monies, okay? And so the Government Accountability Office did an audit of the fraud that was associated with the PPP. As you can see, they did this article as in May 2023. This is their report. This is not an article. This is their report. This is their findings based on the fraud, okay? So this is actually the Government Accountability Office findings of the SBA pandemic fraud, okay? This is the real data that we're looking at. No fluff, no lies, no third parties. We're going to the source, okay? All right, so let me make sure you guys can see my screen. Okay, yes, you guys can see my screen clearly. Alrighty, so you guys have to bear with me because remember I was supposed to be talking about something else. So I didn't have time to go in length into this document, okay? But let's just go ahead on and peruse this really quick, and let's go over briefly what the Government Accountability Office found. And the reason why we're going over this document is just so we can be clear. It's just so you guys can be well aware that what that lady has said about the government's being subpoenaed is correct. And everything that I've been telling you guys over the past 4 years have been correct. Many of you thought I was trying to fearmonger you, scare you into thinking that the money was yours because you guys didn't agree with me. A lot of you bashed me, told me F off. I remember. And now look, we're here. We're here, guys. I warned you. I tried my very best. Some of you guys didn't listen. A lot of you guys listen, and you guys tell me all the time, thank you, Folasade, because if it wasn't for you, girl, I would be caught up. Now, all of those people that did the right thing, they're happy now. All right, let's go into it. Okay. So it says the Small Business Administration moved quickly under challenging circumstances to develop and launch pandemic relief programs to help small businesses. These programs, including the PPP and COVID-19 EIDL, totaled over $1 trillion and assisted more than 10 million small businesses. However, in some instances, relief funds went to those who sought to defraud the government. As schemes emerged, SBA adapted its fraud risk management approach and added controls to help prevent, detect, and respond to fraud. The Government Accountability Office, I'm going to just start saying GAO, analyzed 330 PPP and COVID-19 EIDL fraud cases. Federal prosecutors across the United States filed. So this is the thing. The Government Accountability Office, guys, let me give you context, because some of you will say, oh, they only analyzed 330, don't know what you're talking about, or whatever. So the government accountability, as an accountant, right? If we do audits, we don't, let's say if it's 1,000 people that we're auditing, we don't audit all 1,000. We take a sample. So we will take maybe 150 or 300 of those 1,000 businesses and then run a full audit on those businesses and then compare the numbers according to the applicants to figure out the percentage of fraud. So that's what the Accountability Office did. They took 330 cases for PPP and did an audit on this. This does not mean that those are the only cases. Those are the cases that the Government Accountability Office have reviewed and have come up with their own assessment on the amount of fraud schemes and things like that. So based on their numbers, I think it was like 69% of the applications was fraud. Based on that numbers determines the initiatives that the DOJ and IRS and the FBI will move, because now the Government Accountability Office is going to hold them responsible. So then now they're going to go after the remaining people and do that. I just wanted to clear that up because a lot of people you guys don't know how data is scrapped or how people audit, and I have to be very clear so you guys can be well aware that we don't audit everybody. We take a percentage, which we call a sample data, okay? All righty. Okay, it says the Government Accountability Office analyzed 330 PPP and COVID EIDL fraud cases. Federal prosecutors across the United States filed bank fraud, wire fraud, money laundering, identity theft, and other charges against 524 individuals associated with these cases. The analysis is based on fraud cases publicly announced by the Department of Justice as of December 2021. So here's the thing, guys. Please be mindful. that based on the new laws that were implemented, they have an additional 10 to 15 years to audit the PPP and the loan recipients. And don't forget the people that have done the unemployment schemes. They're all connecting everything. If you done unemployment, PPP, EIDL, all of those are going to come full circle. Right now, the majority efforts from the FBI and stuff is on the federal level, okay? So here's the thing. They said in those cases, so out of those cases, the DOJ charged individuals with misrepresenting eligibility. So that means they basically said on their application, they had this number, but that number wasn't right. But those numbers ended up having them being eligible for the loans. Okay. So they put in fraudulent information on the application so they can become eligible. They also saw that people were falsifying documents, using stolen identities, and deliberately exploiting the programs by conspiring with each other, sharing knowledge on how to circumvent controls, meaning how to get around not being able to qualify, how to get around qualifying and obtaining kickbacks. And then some people were paid, from, filling out the applications and doing shady stuff. For the 155 of the 330 cases that reached conclusion through guilty pleas or convictions, GAO calculated about 188 million in direct financial losses across these cases. 330 cases, 188 million. As of December 2021, 94 individuals have been sentenced to an average of about 37 months in prison. The number of cases will continue to grow. As of January 2023, the SBA Office of Inspector General had 536 ongoing investigations, and the statute of limitations has been extended to 10 years to prosecute individuals who committed PPP and EIDL-related fraud. And if you guys been following me for these years, you already knew this. You already knew that it was bank fraud, wire fraud, falsifying documents. You already knew that they extended the time. This is why, it might feel like I was screaming, don't want you guys to come up. No, I wanted you guys to come up, but I want you guys to come up off your sweat, blood, and tears, baby. I don't want you guys coming up off scamming. I don't want that for us. So Chandra said, it was crazy. One of the PPP pros blocked you and was processing those loans left and right. Yes, I remember that. That's why a lot of financial professionals stopped following me too, y'all. They blocked me, everything. It was a mess, y'all. What Stacy say? What about the EIDL? That's exactly what they're referring to as well, the EIDL as well. So it's the PPP and the EIDL. And don't think that you're out of the woodworks if you did anything with the unemployment, because unemployment is more so state-based, okay? The only way that the federal would get involved with unemployment cases is if that state more than likely got a lot of funding from the federal to pay for the unemployment for the state, okay? All right, here we go. So let's just go and look at some highlights. It says select GAO analysis of PPP and COVID-19 EIDL data, including comparisons with the National Directory of New Hires, wage data, identified over 3.7 million unique recipients with fraud indicators. Do y'all hear this? They're saying about 3.7 million people had fraud indicators on their applications. So this is a lot of people. 3.7 million. And this is just beginning. Remember, they just said that it's going up out of 13.4 million. Fraud indicators can be used to identify potential fraud and assess fraud risk. They are not proof of fraud. Additional review, investigation, and adjudication is needed to determine if fraud exists. To that end, GAO referred the unique recipients with fraud indicators it identified to the SBA, OIG, for further review and investigation. The unique recipients identified include potentially non-existent businesses or businesses that may have misrepresented employee counts to obtain more funds. However, it is possible that the analysis identified non-fraudulent recipients with data discrepancies consistent with an indicator. So they also said some people that didn't commit fraud may have fallen within that because you guys didn't have the right data. And those are the people that I mentioned to you guys, you didn't do your bookkeeping correctly. So your numbers was a little off, but it wasn't intentional fraud. Okay. It says, while the SBA has conducted its own analysis to identify recipients with fraud indicators, it does not have access to the NDNH database. I don't know which database that is, guys. I got to see. And could not have performed the same analysis as GAO. This is why the Fed is subpoenaing people, because they don't have databases to be able to access all of the information. So this is why they have to subpoena the banks. This is why they have to subpoena some tax preparers. This is why they have to go after the promoters. This is why they have to go through third parties to get your data. And this is why I begged you guys in 2019 to do right. I begged you guys in 2020 to file your taxes correctly. And for all of you that didn't have legitimate businesses, I also begged you guys not to take this money. It wasn't worth it. So Stacy asked a good question. She said, does this pertain to the ERC as well? So this particular investigation does not pertain to the ERC, what we're talking about right now. But yes, the ERC is within that bundle. They said that they have over 600 applications and 95% of those ERC applications were fraud. So what they're doing now is auditing those people, having those people withdraw the applications, and also sending them to the Department of Justice. So that is a separate investigation, but that ERC and that sick leave pay is also being investigated as well. And the reason why I'm talking about all of this is because all of this directly connected to your tax returns. As an accountant, as an IRS enrolled agent, as a tax accountant, it was our duty to prepare you guys and give you guys the knowledge and information to do things right, because this was directly connected to your tax returns. And because of that, and because people think that they can do our job, or you have a lot of fraudulent tax professionals, they use this as an opportunity to get rich quick rather than to serve you guys. And a lot of you fell for the bait. I'm so hurt because I don't know what the ramifications going to be behind this. And I can't even imagine what may happen, what programs you guys may miss out on. Some of you may not be able to get your housing anymore. Some of you may not be able to get your TANF anymore. Some of you may not be able to qualify for the child tax credit or be able to take business expenses in the future. Like some of you guys don't realize, let me stop sharing really quick so you guys can see my face. Some of you guys don't realize that the IRS have the authority to prevent you from qualifying for certain tax credits based on your past history. So because you've already defrauded the state, defrauded the federal, they have a clear right to say that you cannot claim certain tax credits. And they will say the basic ones, which is child tax credit, the education credits, child care credits. And honestly, if you defrauded them on the business side with claiming expenses that were not accurate to qualify for the PPP, they also have a right to say that you are ineligible to claim expenses that are not directly overhead. So like if you had coaching, car expenses that were outside of the norm, they may not let you claim it. And so some of you guys don't know that, but they can do that. I've seen, yeah, it's people that you know of that can't even claim their kids. They just don't tell you guys that. They claim them, but they can't take the credit for it. Okay. So Shannon said, my city was saturated with fraud. Not good. Girl, everybody's city was saturated. What I didn't appreciate was those PPP people were bashing you guys that didn't want to get the application. That didn't want to get into it and get the money. I had so many clients tell me, Folasade, my friends been talking about me all this time, laughing at me, making fun of me because they're able to travel and do all of this, and I didn't get the PPP money. If you guys didn't do it, I commend each and every one of you guys because the temptation was out there. Okay, so guys, let's go. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit because remember, I'm going through this with you guys. Okay, it says these are the unique PPP and COVID EIDL recipients with fraud indicators. So these were like the fraud indicators. Okay, so 2.1 million recipients had no wage data. They claimed employees on applications. Oh my gosh, guys, I told you guys, do not manipulate those 941s. People were creating 941s, trying to convert contractors to employees at the last minute, trying to come up with fake employee names and social security numbers so they can complete the 941s, didn't submit unemployment reports. And see, guys, let me stop sharing again. Let me tell you, and here's why I'm again able to talk about this is because in my firm, we process payroll. So that W-2 you get, we process it for companies. The 1099s you issue to your companies, to your clients, we issue those. The quarterly reports, I process those. So the moment that you guys ended up going with somebody to actually do the PPP, one thing you didn't consider was the connections. Your 941 that you report to the IRS on a quarterly basis, which is one of the statements that a lot of you guys misrepresented, should also match your unemployment report that you issue to your state. This is why the state and federal is going to work collectively. It's because that information should match. And see, what y'all didn't do was file that same information with the state. Y'all filed it on a federal level to get the PPP money because you needed it to get the application, or you didn't submit it to the IRS, but you submitted to the bank. But what you forgot was that if that information was correct, you should have also filed an unemployment report to match that with your state on a quarterly basis. In addition to that, on an annual basis, we submit a form called 940, which is your federal unemployment report. That shows the total wages that you paid your staff for that year. A lot of you did not report a 940. And that 940 should match all of the 941s and all of your unemployment reports. In addition to the 940, your W-2s should also match. Then your check register should match. Then your bank statement withdrawals should match. Do you guys see the paper trail? And you guys missed every step because you couldn't misrepresent that much data. So we're here now. Y'all didn't only did the 941s, did some shady stuff. And I'm not laughing at you guys. I'm so goddamn disappointed because I know a lot of Black people are going to be impacted by this. Okay. All righty. So the next thing was different employee totals. The number of employees reported on the applications was higher than the actual number of employees reported to the National Directory of Hire. Okay, so now I know what the National ND, remember guys, I said, oh, what is that NDNH? Okay, as a payroll provider, every time you hire a new employee, right, we are required to report to the state of that new person that you hire. So let's say, for example, you own a construction company and you hired me. Within 30 days of processing your payroll, me as the payroll company will report me as the employee to the hire registry for your state. The hire registry will then report the information to the National Directory of New Hires. So what they're saying is that new hire report does not match, and that new hire report should also match the unemployment for that quarter as well. Okay. All right. So guys, are you getting what I'm putting down? Put one in the chat if you're getting what I'm putting down. It does seem like I'm talking gibberish. or what? Or you guys are understanding, we're on the same wavelength. You guys are seeing the connections in the paperwork. Now you kind of understand why I did not want you guys to do the fraud, because it's too much of a paper trail. It was too much. And but the people that, because remember guys, I'm Nigerian, I'm Black American, I grew up in the streets. You understand? I know all of the tricks. So when I saw this, I was like, oh my God, people are going to, try to take advantage and don't understand the game and the amount of the paper trail, and y'all gonna fall prey. And that's exactly what happened. But let me know, put one in the chat, guys, if you understand in the paper trail. And now you understand why they have to subpoena the third parties to get the data. It's just so much coming to a head right now. Okay, so I'm seeing some ones in the chat. Okay, so I'm about to go back and share my screen, guys, okay? And remember, guys, if you're enjoying tonight's content, please share the video. I know you guys don't want to hear this. You guys are not happy because, honestly, some of you guys have probably committed the scam. But as I told you guys before in my video, I believe in Jesus Christ. And if I were you, I would be praying, repenting, and hoping that he actually protects you if you did anything, because you've already falsified the applications. You've already done the dirt. You've already spent the money. Now it's between you and your God. If I were you, that's what I would be doing. Really fasting and then making some promises and keeping God's promise, because we don't know the impact. And some of you non-believers, I don't know who you guys will pray to for that type of blessing, but I know how my God worked when I needed him in situations. Like I remember, guys, when I couldn't renew my license one year, he shut the whole system down. I believe he could do miraculous things. So it's time for you guys to pray. I asked you guys to do right now. The thing that I'm concerned too is we already caught up on the PPP. Please, I hope y'all didn't continue filing the fraudulent tax returns, because I begged you guys, if you did a PPP scam, please file your returns the right way after that, because that would have you guys added on more problems. You already did a PPP scam. Then if you filed your taxes wrong, after that, deliberately, you didn't add it on more problems. So thank you. Thank you for sharing. I really appreciate you guys. Okay, so let's go back to the article. And guys, I'm trying to get this flip thing going. Okay, so the next thing is they said they received multiple loans. More than the allowed number of applications were approved and funded for a loan or an advance. So more than likely, a person probably, tried to, flip-flop that name, flip-flop that social security and get that EIN number and things like that to get multiple different loans, okay? They also reused information. So it says different unique recipients shared underlying business information, such as business names and addresses. So y'all were sharing people's information. So y'all was probably sharing employees, CEOs, resident agents, all sorts of things. Okay, and then provided different information to each program. Recipients that participated in both the PPP and the COVID EIDL programs provided different business information, such as different business type, organizational structure, and everything. So they have 3.7 million applicants that have fraud indicators on there. Do you guys see this number right here? 3.7 million. Out of 13.4 million applications, 3.7 million have fraud on them. Okay. Now, it says the SBA has employed data analytics to enhance fraud prevention and detection. For example, the use of analytics contributed to the SBA determining that some PPP borrowers were ineligible for loan amounts or used them for unauthorized purposes, resulting in 4.7 billion in loan proceeds not being forgiven. In addition, SBA referred over 669 potentially fraudulent PPP and COVID EIDL loans to the SBA OIG for investigation after using data analytics and conducting manual reviews. SBA enhanced its analytical capabilities during the pandemic and had recognized that it will benefit from further development if its data analytics program. So basically saying they're going to continue using it. And the SBA has opportunities to continue to improve its ability to prevent and detect potentially fraudulent transactions. Okay, let's go past this. Okay, so one thing I wanted you guys to look at, it was one page on here. What did I click? I think it was the non-financial thing. Okay. All righty. So here's the thing, guys. Let's read this. This was interesting. Okay, so table 3 that we're looking at right now, and it says non-financial impacts of fraud in PPP program. Non-financial impact, affected parties and impact. So we're going through this document. The stakeholders, which is the federal government, okay? Security, which is the local communities and the security entrants. The victims, fraud victims harmed through identity theft, and fraudsters, okay, being caught. Okay, all right, let's fast forward. It says the diversion of funds from PPP and COVID EIDL by fraudsters mitigated the broader effectiveness of economic relief goals to assist small businesses and their employees affected by the pandemic. Funds diverted by fraudsters were unavailable to eligible businesses, which is true, who would have used them for payroll, rent, or other qualified business expenses. Specifically in 2020, PPP and EIDL advances ran out of funds, leaving small businesses temporarily unable to obtain needed relief. I remember that, guys. And I remember me having clients that were actually eligible, but they ran out of money. It was a mess. Legitimate businesses really got duped. I'm going to be honest. The real businesses got duped, and the fraudsters came, swept, and got not only the advances, but the loans. It was a mess, guys. Do y'all remember that? Put one in the chat if you remember going and then trying to apply, got your paperwork in order, and they said the advances and stuff ran out. I remember Folasade in the chat. Okay. It says further, some fraudulently obtained funds were redirected from supporting payroll and other small business needs into other economic activity. Specifically, fraudsters placed unlawfully obtained funds into communities and the economy through purchases of luxury goods, such as apparel and jewelry, real estate, and vehicles, and by paying debts, making home improvements, and secure investments, among other things. Individuals were charged with using PPP and COVID-19 EIDL funds to purchase luxury goods such as Rolex watches and items from Louis Vuitton, Burberry, Christian Louboutin, Dolce & Gabbana, and Gucci. A number of individuals were also charged with purchasing luxury vehicles such as products from Cadillac, Ferrari, Mercedes, Rolls-Royce, or Tesla, as well as Harley-Davidson motorcycles. Individuals were also charged with purchases involving cryptocurrency, firearms, farm animals, radio airtime, and political campaign donations. Oh my God. Oh my God. Do y'all hear that list? They got everything down here. Did y'all hear that list? I think what made me laugh the most when they said farm animals. They said we were purchasing farm animals, Harley Davidson, firearms, and contributing to political campaigns. Like literally. People was running it up big time, y'all. People was running it up big time. Big time. People was running it up. Oh my gosh. Okay. Hold on. Let me see. I'm sorry, somebody put on here, guys, Trump supporters. Somebody put on here, this is a list. Yes, it is, Stacy. Stacy, it's a list. Oh my gosh, guys. Okay. Good late evening. Hi, Rhonda. How are you? Guys, if you're just coming into the live stream, we're going over the information that was released by a lady that says she worked in a credit union, basically saying that the banks are being subpoenaed. And a lot of people don't believe it. But I told you guys this was happening since 2020. And so this has been happening in 2020, so I'm not surprised that the banks are, subpoenaing and are being subpoenaed. I'm not surprised. I just want you guys to be well aware of what's happening now, guys, because you guys have been duped. A lot of you are just finding me. And so you really haven't had nobody that tells you guys the absolute truth about taxes, the absolute truth about their experiences in business and the real deal. Guys, I give you the full truth, nothing but the truth. So help me God. I try not to limit anything or what they say, the gatekeep any information, anything I learn. I try to come and teach you guys. But I'm going to be really honest with you. It was challenging seeing you guys fall trap to all these scammers. And y'all just left a bad taste in my mouth. I still pushed it to the limit, but y'all left a very bad taste in my mouth. When you have real legitimate professionals that been in the game for 10, 15, 20 years telling you guys don't scam, don't do this, and y'all say, that's what y'all did. And then now look here. Now y'all probably going to cry tonight saying, God, Folasade, I saw her in 2020. She was screaming, talking about don't get the PPP, but I needed the money. That's between you and your God, okay? And I'd be asking my team, did we do enough? I think we did enough, guys. So I don't feel like I didn't do my part. I think I did my part. So Michael says, I'm driving and can't pay attention. Can you save this live? Yes, they are being subpoenaed. Guys, and just know if you can have any questions, put in the Q&A. Okay, so what number is this? Figure number PPP loan case involving Department of Justice charges of asset misappropriation. Okay, some use for personal use, personal financial transactions, vehicles, luxury goods, travel, other electronics, gaming, and everything. They said they also found that fraudsters diverted $4.5 million to other countries as well. So y'all was sending money. Here's the countries. Oh my gosh, they really did a whole. Oh my gosh, y'all, but do y'all see? Wait, no, Nigeria, Ghana, Liberia, Uganda, United Arab Emirates, Hong Kong, Singapore, China, South Korea, United Kingdom, Canada, Honduras, Mexico, Peru, Dominican Republic. Oh my God. Oh my gosh, they didn't trace the money. You guys. Let me ask you a question, Stacy. So are you talking about, so Stacy's asking me, are you referring to the self-employment tax credit is a factor? So I'm going to be honest with you, Stacy, that self-employment tax credit has been so misrepresented. Even as a seasoned tax professional, I had to go and look into what people were asking me when people were asking me, is that credit legit? Is that credit legit? So what people have done, let me just give y'all some context. So what people have done, they took that COVID sick leave pay and gave it its own special name called the self-employment tax credit. Then gave it its own name called the self-employment tax credit. So yes, that self-employment tax credit will fall into the loop. Now, what she's referring to is if you had person that was sick, or if you were sick and you had COVID. Let's say if you ended up getting COVID, or your family member ended up getting COVID, and you had to stop working. You were able to get up to like $32,000 on as a tax refund. That credit is real, but people took advantage of that. So yes, that credit will fall in the loops of it. So what's happening, all of those programs fall within this whole scheme, okay? Because they're all connected. That self-employment tax credit that she's referring to, that COVID relief credit, sick leave credit, is also going to be shown. And some of you guys are going to be audited. A lot of you guys are going to be audited for that credit as well, because you had to have had COVID. So you needed some type of COVID document, medical letter, test positive, some proof that you or your family member was sick and couldn't work. You understand? So some people are still going to get caught up. Some people just lied and said that the family was sick and didn't get sick. So short answer, and I can do a whole nother live stream on that one as well. But short answer, yes, Stacy, all of those COVID relief programs fall within the issues that we're facing right now. It is not just the PPP. It is not just the EIDL. All of it's coming to a head. Okay, guys? No, wait. No, somebody said they know Jamaica on the list. No, I don't see Jamaica. I don't see Jamaica, but they didn't. That might be. They probably didn't list it on this sheet, but it might be. Yes, definitely Jamaica. Okay, guys. Okay. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do. Oh my goodness, says funds fraudulently obtained by the SBA pandemic relief programs were used to fund criminal activities such as drugs and guns, putting communities at risk. Our analysis of 330 PPP and COVID-19 cases identified charges in 10 cases involving criminal groups. So it wasn't just regular smuggler people. You had organized crime groups extorting the government. They were also doing racketeering and extortion involving illegal gambling. Yeah, this is a lot, guys. This is a lot. Okay, so let's read this. It says impact on fraudsters, because I know this is what a lot of you guys want to know about. What is the impact? And so remember, guys, I am not an attorney. The only reason why I'm talking about this is because all of this is directly correlated to, I'm not a criminal attorney. I'm trying to become a tax attorney. All of this is tied directly into your tax return, okay? And a lot of you guys may end up being audited, and I may have to represent you guys in an audit to prove that you did have a business, and to prove that some of those expenses and things were legitimate and things like that. So you guys won't get hit hard, you know? And hopefully in the next 2 years, I'll be done studying and I can, be you guys' save a day. Okay. So the impact on fosters. When crime is committed, fosters may experience a sense of satisfaction from illicit enrichment. Once caught, however, they can experience prison time, financial penalties, loss of employment, and unfavorable publicity, while also inflicting emotional distress on their families. For example, one couple that fled before sentencing in a PPP and EIDL case admitted that their actions brought danger and fear to their children. Another foster who lost his job as a senior government official expressed shame and remorse for abusing the government while being entrusted to be a good steward of government resources. In addition to the cost of incarceration and supervision borne by the federal government and ultimately U.S. taxpayers, loss of personal freedom as a result of PPP and COVID EIDL fraud affected many fosters. Our analysis identified 80 closed PPP and EIDL criminal cases where individuals were sentenced to prison, supervised release, or probation. Across these cases, 94 individuals have been sentenced to prison. cumulatively sentenced to service in over 3,500 months, with an average sentence of about 37 months. 89 individuals were sentenced to a cumulative of 3,400 months of supervised relief. Additionally, 9 individuals were sentenced to serve cumulatively 310 months of probation. Some defendants had sentences that included prison and supervised release. According to the DOJ, individuals who were sentenced under certain statutes are mandated to also receive a term of supervised release after the term of incarceration. See Figure 10 for information on sentences ranges for individuals sentenced to prison, probation, and supervised release. So as you guys can see that they are sending people to prison. Almost 94 individuals were sentenced to prison. Remember, it was how many cases? Out of 330, they're just beginning. 84 had supervised release. 9 had probation. It says the analysis is based on 80 closed PPP EIDL cases that reached the sentencing phase as of December 31st. So now they are working. They're working. They are working. So yeah, guys, I cannot go through this whole document. As you guys can see, it's 154 pages. I cannot go through that whole document. Okay. But I can answer any of you guys' questions. Yeah, I can answer any of you guys' questions. Y'all get ready. Tax season is gonna. Tommy says, y'all get ready. Tax season is gonna be raw. Yes, 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 it is. I'm ready for it though.